Folks, here we are, Friday Night Live, post Page. The first time that we have gotten together on a Friday night since the convention ended just a few short 2 weeks ago, and we are back at it yet again. There is no rest for the wicked. The Page crew is back together here on a Friday night. um, I'm Phil, the director of operations. I am actually in a hotel room in Princeton, New Jersey right now. I'm going to be spending the weekend here with my lovely wife and daughter who are behind me. But joining me, as always, this evening is Jen Cash, the blind bard, Ed Stark. He's sporting his D&D bright red shirt there, and the old venerable Ron Meischker, the organizer of Page. How are we all doing now that the dust has settled after the con?
Pretty good. I'm still recovering, though. It was a wild weekend. It was a ton of fun, and I still need to unpack. I haven't gotten to back to my normal content creation routine or anything. So sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, no, I was interrupting you. I apologize. I hosted my first game night since Page, so I feel I am now officially recovered, but I insisted on no miniatures. After moving all the miniatures and terrain around at Page, I was just like, we're doing theater of the mind tonight. So
yeah, your game was wild. You had a ton of miniatures.
Yeah, and I think we had over I think we almost had 100 players or something like that over the course of the weekend.
Oh, wow. So who won the Page mini convention, campaign?
It wasn't really a contest. Basically, a bunch of players got the opportunity to basically get a raffle to be in the final. And almost all of the players had played at least 2 of the 3 events. And all of them had gotten like distinguished extra tickets. So they're all good ones. There's a father and son team that were really terrific. I've got names somewhere. I don't have it handy, but we actually used 3 DMs for the final. It was me and Michael DiBenedetto and Rory Fitzgerald. We tag teamed the final thing. So there was just no pause. We got through the whole thing really fast.
That's great.
Still almost ran over time, but it went well.
Oh, we got the chat lighting up here. Ed Lopez is logged in. Troy Allman's there. I don't know who Intoxicalavi is. I don't know who that is. There's Matt Archibald. So, welcome.
Pickles.
Welcome, everybody.
I had fun playing with Matt Archibald in Professor DM's game.
Hey, Leo, you're supposed to be logged in to the link I gave you. Leo, you remember you were a guest tonight, Leo? You remember that?
Whoopsie.
Oh, it's Amanda. Hi, Amanda.
Michael Saxton. I showed off the
artist Lowell Prohl there. Oh, here we go. He's been and look, there's the newest member, the newest member of the Page staff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Leo, you're part of a jam-packed show tonight. We actually have 3 guests. So we have a lot going on tonight, but since we threw you on here, why don't you talk a little bit about your experience at Page and how, if you had fun and the new role that you have on our staff.
First of all, thank you guys. I really appreciate that you invite me. You guys invited me. I love Page. I mean, a little background. I find out about Page like maybe early 3 years ago. I couldn't make it to the first one, I think I saw Paige on Dan Master, Professor DN YouTube channel. And I told my wife, we need to go to see this convention. And we signed up for the second year. And when I was there, it was amazing. The love that I felt from everybody there. It was like you can see the guests, you can mingle with them. The guests, you don't have to have a tier to be, to talk to these guests, or they're not hiding on rooms. They're there with you, and they are happy to share a hand, talk to you, take a photo with you. They're very nice. So I told my wife, man, I love Paige. I want to be part of this. This is nice. This is good. And every time that I get a moment, I talk about Paige. I spread the word about Paige. Even I do games for a store here in New York, and all my players, I encourage them to go to Paige to see. Hi Ryan, to see if they, for them also to feel that warm welcome and love that you get when you go to Paige.
All right. Well, we're happy to have you on board, and listen, your enthusiasm for the convention is legendary, and we appreciate that. We appreciate that you've come on board to help spread the word about Paige at different conventions that you visit and different game stores. Frankly, in an area we really don't hit that area that hard with our advertising. We kind of cut our regional advertising off at the border of New Jersey, but it just makes sense for us to be up in New York more, where you're located, and anybody you're talking to about the convention, and anybody you talk to in general, to know Leo is to love Leo. So we all appreciate you and everything you do for the convention, and all your charitable donations and everything else. We do have some other guests tonight, and we're going to start bringing them in. And Leo, stay on. If you have questions for the guests, ask away. Okay. All right. Let's see who we have here. And there's one of the people who was involved in the very initial discussions about
Good evening, everybody.
About Paige back in 2022, believe it or not. Ryan Morgan, avid collector, and the host of Old School Rules on YouTube. And he's done so much for the convention over the years. He helps with the auction. He's donated his time and sweat equity as an attorney. He's done quite a bit, and I personally owe Ryan a debt of gratitude. At Page 1, he gifted me Dragon Magazine #1, which was amazing. And then this year, he outbid me in the auction for the artist's board, and then he turned around and gave it to me, which was just mind-blowing. So really appreciate you. But tell us, what'd you think of Page 3?
Yeah, it was great. I've been to all three of them, and so it's been nice to see the evolution of the convention over time. You told me it was going to be bigger, and it was. There was an immense amount of gaming space and a lot of great energy, even though we had a lot more space to fill. So I thought it was a huge success. And personally, I ran some first edition AD&D games, and that was a lot of fun. I was touched to see I actually had some players who played with me last year who signed up and came back and played with me again this year, and told me they were coming back and they're going to play with me again next year. So
Well, that's great.
That was nice. We have a lot of fun. And Paige was the first convention I'd been to, when I was a kid. I always wanted to go to Gen Con, but that seemed like mythical, magical land far, far away. And so, when you asked me to help with that, I thought, I was glad to do that. And then I thought, I should go. Haven't ever been to one. This could be fun. And I'm actually going to North Texas this year as well. So now you've kind of got me hooked on the convention scene, Ron. But that's a good thing. It's a good thing.
Well, it's I'm sure you'll have a good time down there at North Texas. So you're one of the 600.
Yeah, it's a little smaller.
Yes. So Ryan, tell us about Old School Rules and what you do on your YouTube program.
Yeah, sure. So as you mentioned, I'm a collector. Dungeons and Dragons is my focus, and I know that's not true for everybody, but a lot of us here probably it is. And I guess I'm an intellectual approach to things. I like to learn, and so as I was collecting, I learned a lot about collecting. I learned about all the different editions of books. I learned about all the third-party publishers that did things back in the 70s and 80s, and so part of the channel came from the fact that when I started, I looked to see if there were some videos I could watch to learn, and a lot of this stuff I couldn't. Now there's the great websites like the Assaeum, and there's great collectors out there and Facebook groups, and people will talk to you and share with you, but there weren't really any videos. And so I kind of saw that as a niche. And also I think I started during COVID, and my son was encouraging me to try to be cool and start a YouTube channel. And so I did a couple of history of D&D, history of Judges Guild videos. And then most of what I've done since then is really focused on collecting, like what is this product about? And the thing that I like most of all are these old fanzines that are put out by people like us, right? And a lot of whom were teenagers at the time they did that. And it's just a lot of fun. You get that energy and that youthful, we don't know what we're doing kind of approach that they put into what they were doing. And they're just a lot of fun to read through. And so I do videos every Friday where I look at a fanzine. And then if I have time, I try to do other videos that relate to collecting, at some other point during the week. And so I've got how to tell what edition of an AD&D book you're buying, videos out there, and some random videos about third-party publishers and the products they put out. Because if you're into the collecting hobby, the nice thing about it is the more you get, for better or worse, the more you find out there is that you don't have yet and you need to go find. And so it's kind of like a treasure hunt, and it's a lot of fun. And I love sharing that with the community. So that's what I do on my channel.
Yeah, it's a great program. If you haven't checked it out, what's the address, Ryan? It's YouTube, obviously, /@ and then what?
I think you can find me by /AZ Mountaineer.
Okay.
But I'll be honest, I'm not 100% sure about that.
Okay. Well, we'll find it. They'll find out. They'll find it if they look up.
Nope, I don't like that. I just checked. So it's just a bunch of gobbledygook. But if you look for old school, so if you type Old School Rules, I think you'll find me. And if you don't find me that way, add like D&D to the end, or type Fanzine Friday. And I've done enough of those videos. I think that actually does pull up. Like the very first thing you'll see, it'll be me.
Yeah,
Right.
You were the first result that came up for us. So
yeah,
you can create a custom URL for your page.
Yeah, and I probably did that, Ron, and I probably just don't remember what it is, if I'm being honest. I know I used AZ Mountaineer because they let me use my own name in there. Oh, here it is. Okay, so it's youtube.com/@AZ Mountaineer. The
There
ampersand.
So
there you go.
Okay, got you. So we're going to bring on our next guest, who's also on our staff. So we have 3 staffers on here tonight who all do great things for the convention. And our newest staffer is RPG creator Josh Yoder, and he's pretty much a definition of the independent.
What's happening?
Come back. There he is. There he is. He's pretty much the definition of a independent publisher. when you think about it, right? And as a matter of fact, Josh, why don't you talk a little bit about what you're going to be doing for PAGE, and then we're going to talk about one of your upcoming projects.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And it was awesome listening to Ryan speak, because, you know, that fanzine energy is still happening, right? Like, I mean, we're using some of those old school rules, maybe adding a little bit of new school twists on it. There's even people like Castle Grief, who are his upcoming game Lords is all just using OD&D rules. So there's just a bunch of real, like, including Chainmail, like a bunch of really exciting things happening in the indie scene, and it's so awesome to be able to reach out to those people to help highlight them, to get them out there. I do professional DMing, and I was running a game a couple of nights ago, and there was an older gentleman. He's in his 60s, and you know, he said, I mentioned like the zine thing. He said people are still making zines for D&D, and I was like, yeah, they are. And you know, it's really cool to be able to highlight that type of stuff. So
yeah, and I understand you do a lot of your own stuff, like DCC and Shadow Dark and D&D and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, so my first my kind of like breakout book was H2 Apocalypse, which is punk rock piracy in a drowned world. So it's basically Waterworld meets Tank Girl in DCC and Neon Lords of the Toxic Wasteland. And I'll talk about my upcoming project later. But I'm really jazzed to talk about like basically what I get to do for PAGE, and that's acts as the indie creator liaison. So and help, basically Ron has this amazing vision of this room just filled with indie creators and indie creator tables. And it's my job to help reach out to those people, gather them, find them where they live in the dark corners of the internet, and bring them forward and highlight them and put them on a pedestal so they can show their awesome work.
Great. So are they going to be hosting games and people going to be able to try them out?
That's the hope. And you know, be able to just have a space to be able to also, you know, promote and share those games within PAGE's, you know, various avenues, such as like their social networks, or within, you know, the convention itself.
Yeah, the room itself has 22 small booths for independent indie publishers and indie creators. They're priced in a way to make them affordable for them to get into. But then the center of the room has 20 tables in it, round tables, where these folks can run games or demonstrate games. So that entire area, which is a pretty large area, it's about 7,000 square feet, is completely dedicated to indie publishers and indie publishers products. Now, speaking of indie publishers, you Josh, you have a Kickstarter coming up under your company name of Crimson Adder Curiosities, do you not?
I do. It's called Dungeon Death, and it's Tiger Wizard did all the art. Tiger Wizard from Exalted Funeral, and it's pretty much done. I just need money to print the thing. Yeah. So basically, it's you play 90s teenagers who get Jumanji'd into like a Zelda-like video game cartridge, and you're having to fight your way out.
That's very cool.
Thank you.
Awesome.
I also love the fact that you've actually put the thing together. So all people have to do is, you know, kickstart it enough to get you the money, and then they'll just get it. There's not going to be any waiting or delay.
Thank you. That's the idea.
Yeah. So right now it's in the pre-launch stage. I put the link in the chat, and it's up on the screen right now, where you can cut and paste it. But head on over to Kickstarter and hit that notify button, and you know, jump on this. You know, Josh's work is great, and you know I plan to support this, and I'm sure Phil will. And
it sounds so interesting.
Yeah, no,
I just signed up.
I'm a huge Zelda fan, so that alone is going to make me want to back it.
Thank you. I feel like gaming in general, you know, always comes back to some place of nostalgia. And this was very much like when we first got the original Zelda Golden, cartridge. My dad and I stayed up till like 2 a.m. I must have been like, 10 years old. And I remember he woke up and he was like, these video game things, they're crazier than I thought. And like, that's when we knew like we had like, that's when you knew like Zelda, I think, was one of the really first breakout, at least in my consciousness, hits that I got to watch growing up.
Yeah. For me, it was The Adventures of Link. And I know everyone hates the second one, but we loved it. And I can remember my dad waking us up at 11 o'clock at night. Come on, I'm going to be Ganon. You got to come see. And it was a school night. It was the best thing ever.
That's so cool. But yeah, I mean, besides Kickstarter, I'm on Patreon, Crimson Adder Games, and as well as on Itch, Crimson Adder Games. I've got tons of little games, solo games, and Shadow Dark compatible, DCC compatible. I just like making stuff.
Well, that's very.
That was interesting. You have an interesting quote about it. 16-bit rules for Shadow Dark. I mean, I know that's kind of a play on the, the 16-bit cartridge thing, but does that also have a secondary meaning? Like, are you, what is the tagline really conveying?
Yeah, so I have a guilty pleasure, and that guilty pleasure is any movie with The Rock and Kevin Hart in it, I'll watch. Like, I don't care if it's good or not, I'll watch it. So then I love the old Jumanji, but the new Jumanji was really kind of inspired me to like, all right, what can I do with this? So yes, there are optional modes. I love that Kelsey put modes in Shadow Dark. I think that was awesome. So there's a mode in here where you have 3 lives. And if you die, those lives go away. And possibly, you could get more if you kill bigger or badder things. But it really came up with some really emergent role playing, because there was during the play test, we had one guy, they were fighting the big boss at the end, Pork, and they were trying to kill Pork, and one of the characters was paralyzed. So the without even saying anything, the one character just killed the other character, so he would res and come back and be able to keep fighting. And then without even talking, like, it was the only PvP I've ever seen that ended in a hearty high five. Mm-hmm. Like,
see, I think that's really clever, because I think actually giving the players the multiple lives gives you the opportunity to show them that death is possible. Because if you only give them 1 life, then it's like, oh, I die. Okay, I create another character. Mm-hmm. Oh well. But here it's like, oh man, that clock is ticking down. The like in Jumanji, the hash mark is going away. It's like, oh man. So it can actually encourage lethality a little bit more in a way.
Yeah.
That's clever.
Thank you.
Phil says it's clever too.
Yes, Phil.
Yes.
I got a video message from Alicia Barton's twin daughters, who are YouTube stars, asking me if I could give them. One of them asked if they could have a Phil Stuffy, and then the other one said she wanted one too. So I think what I'm going to do, since they are internet sensations, I'm going to go over there tomorrow after my Conan game that I'm playing in, and I'm going to bring one, and then we're going to video them battling over who gets to keep it. Is that cruel? Is that cruel of me? Is that showing that I have no children? No.
Well, if you're gonna leave with just the one there after you create that chaos? Yeah, I think that is showing.
Yeah, since you two can't get along, I'm taking it. Yes, exactly right.
But I think it's better if you bring both of them, so you can see if they reveal their true natures, or if that way, if they're nice, you can give them the second one.
Find out which one lies and which one tells the truth.
Yeah, but Ed, those things are collector's items, man. You think Ron has 2 of those laying around?
There are a couple. There are a couple. But you know what I have like hanging around now?
I saw your head.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
It's looking good. Thank you,
That's
Whiz
awesome.
Kids. Yes. So
That spent most of the weekend in the back of my rental because we didn't have any place to put it at Page. And then Ron had to figure out how to get it home.
listen. The ride home with the trailer from Page was something else. I'll just leave it at that. It was something else.
Imagine.
Made it home. The trailer's unloaded. Not everything's where it should be, but the office is kind of back in shape. Like, there's still things that need to get put up on shelves and things like that. But at least I can walk around in here and breathe and not feel like I'm going to have things collapsing on me. So I'm pretty happy about that. Something that came up, and I know my wife Jen watches the program religiously, but for those of you who don't know, she dislocated her wrist. She fell on the ice and she dislocated her wrist. So if you're squeamish, you don't want to. You want to avert your eyes quickly. That's what her wrist looked like after she fell down.
It's gnarly.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. So she's in a cast from her knuckles to her elbow right now until we can get to the orthopedic folks on Tuesday. So, send her some well wishes. She can use them. For those who don't know, she is a massage therapist in a hospital system. So this is going to make it a little tough to work. So, send her some well wishes. She can use them.
Does she have Aflac?
No, she's got union carpenter benefits, spouse and insurance. So, it's not like we won't be able to get it fixed, but it's not going to get her back doing her job any.
No, that sucks.
Yeah.
Hey, on a brighter side, can I share a quick funny story about the dragon head?
Well, real quick, and let me just answer one question.
Oh yeah.
Somebody's asking about a Phil Wirt stuffy.
Yeah.
And Matt Archibald says he wants one. Ed Lopez, spoken like a true personal injury lawyer. It happened on my own property. Yeah, so no opportunity there. And Troy, what's her range of motion? She's in a cast from her knuckles into her elbows, so it's 0. But go ahead, Ed.
So I had talked to Whiz Kids. We knew that Ron really wanted one of those heads to put up, and they weren't sure they were going to be able to get it. But they said if they can get one, they would bring it to the show. And my initial thought was to give it to Ron at the cheesesteak dinner. But I don't know about you guys, but Page is a big deal, and it was a really big deal this year. And Ron was just running around trying to get everything done. He was getting sick. I was just so tired. I think it was the end of the day, Wednesday. I just led him over to the Whiz Kids booth and said, "Where are we going to put this thing?" And he's just like, But I had to give him some sort of pick me up there. I hope it helped at all. But yeah, it was great that they were able to get that and bring it to the show. But yeah, I kind of I had to blow the surprise just for your mental health at that time.
Well, he's the Dragon Head's going to have a friend soon, because I was able to get a Whiz Kids life-sized goblin at an incredible price, almost 80% off somewhere, which I'm going to pick up this week, and he's going to come back. But until he gets back here to the Page office, he's going to be seat belted into the front passenger seat, and I will liberally use the HOV lane
That's
on the
awesome.
way home. So
Does he stand up, Ron, or are you going to have to mount him up on the wall?
he stands up.
He's got, I think it's the one with the spear, right?
No, it's the one with the sword over his back.
Oh, neat.
Yeah.
You know those displays that they brought? They sold all of them on the first day. It's crazy.
They should have bought more.
It was probably Leo bought them, didn't you?
I see behind Leo over his left shoulder there. He's got a Dragon magazine signed by Jeff Easley that he put a lot of money down to get that in the charity auction at EggCon. So Leo is always so generous at these conventions for the charitable causes. And of course, at EggCon, it's the E. Gary Gygax Memorial Scholarship Foundation. And that's something I'm very proud to be the auctioneer for each year.
Leo bought one of my miniature paint jobs last year at a charity auction as well, which I was always very impressed by. And I think afterwards I said, Leo, I just would have painted one up for you. But he's like, no, I wanted to donate the money.
Yeah. The problem was Leo took his son out of the charity auction this year. His son was plunking down a lot of money, and Leo was like, "We got to get out of here." And he basically put his son in a headlock and dragged him out of the room.
He actually got more stuff than I actually did.
Yeah.
He usually look at me like we get the eye contact, but this time he really wanted. He was like, "Oh," and I'm looking at him. I'm saying in my head, and say, "I mean, are you gonna put that money?"
What were some of the highlights of what you got, Leo? I wasn't able to stay for the whole auction. I had to go do something. What were some of the highlights that you picked up?
My son got the 2 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle book signed. He wanted those really badly. He's still a fan of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and
Heroes in a Half Shell.
he also wanted to contribute to, I think it was one of the first edition books that he wanted. And he asked me, we had that at home? And I say, I don't think so. You want to go for it? He said, yeah. I said, okay, go for it.
Nice.
I couldn't stay longer. I mean, I got invited with, I feel so bad. I mean, I missed so much good stuff, but I got invited by Nistel to a game, and I couldn't say no. I had to.
Yeah, I saw pictures from that. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Wait. Are you saying Nistel took you out of the charity auction?
He said, "Come and play my game."
Is that what you're telling me right now?
He probably cost us like $10,000.
This just in. Nistel is out as a special guest for next year. He's out.
No, he's a great guy. It's a great guy. He actually gave me, so I collect minis too. He actually gave me a mini of himself, and I told him that's gonna be in my campaigns all over, anywhere I go. It was a really nice gesture. So,
yeah.
So, Leo, did Kevin Siemba draw in those books for your son?
Yeah, he did. He did. I mean, my son already has it on his bookshelf. But if I get a chance, my walk in. Yeah, they did. They signed. They took pictures on it. He was really nice.
Yeah, good. That was really nice. And Kevin was really thoughtful to come and try and encourage you. He had a lot of stuff that connected back to him when you realize how much stuff those guys at Palladium and Matt Ballant had to do with stuff in the 70s and 80s. It's impressive.
I had somewhere along the line, I picked up a milk crate full of Palladium stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like chock full, tons of the Rifter magazine. So we couldn't get to everything. The auction was so big. We're going to do some more different things next year. I think we improved at the auction with getting people out of there and paid. That went extremely smooth this year. But we're going to do some different things with an auction store and maybe even an auction Friday night with some lesser stuff in it. But I got that box home, and he was telling me, because, some of those Rifter magazines are worth quite a bit of money. And I didn't know it. I love Kevin. I didn't know any Rift stuff was worth a lot of money, to be honest with you. Because there's just so much of it, right?
Right. There is.
It's very active on the used market. You see it, and the prices stay down as a result. It's not Kevin's fault. People buy it new. It's obviously getting bought because it's on the secondary market as well. But when I looked through the crate, he signed every item during the auction when we weren't looking.
That was nice.
Yeah. No, I mean, incredible guy. And, I'll just say right now, he's back as a special guest next year. Palladium's back in the vendor's room. He was extremely happy with the way things went at PAGE. And you know what? I thought he brought a lot to the convention this year.
Did he run some games?
He ran one game, I think.
Yeah. It's always cool when you get the guys who were there creating a product to run a game for you, I think.
I want to put together a panel next year of just people who were ripped off by Judges Guild. Just have them come and talk about how much money does Judges Guild owe me. That'll be the name of the seminar, and we'll let Kevin be the moderator.
Yeah, he would know.
Yeah, he would. They took a lot of stuff off of him.
Who won the Estefan game ticket to his house? Who won that?
Were there 3 buyers for that, Ron, or 2?
Or 3.
Yeah.
I got 2 of the tickets. Ed Lopez got 2 of the tickets, and Chet Minton got 2 of the tickets.
Yeah.
So it's like basically my home game.
Nice.
So we need to get together because Estefan told me that when he see more partners, we got to go there and get a game. So I think we had the whole party.
So he wants to do 2 more people?
He actually said 3 more. I think he's gonna do 6, I believe.
Well, we have 6. We have 6.
Oh, you got 6. Okay.
We can. Yeah. I think he wants to go up to 8 or something, but we'll talk to.
If you guys do 9,
when he's not distraught over losing his first edition player's handbook.
Oh yeah. But if you guys do 9, let me know.
Leo, why don't you and I team up and we'll get him to do another one? We can donate some to charity. I'd love to play with Stefan. I haven't played with him in years.
Okay, let's do that. I'm okay. Well, I'm okay with travel. Yeah.
Right. So we'll reach out to him. I have been talking to him about a few things, and related to PAGE and some new features and things like that. And he's going to be back next year as well. Pending no scheduling conflicts, but he's been over the moon about the convention. If anybody's been watching his social media, he had a lot of good things to say about what took place out there. So he's very happy about that. Jen, you have any questions for our guests or any comments?
So, I was wondering, what do you guys have for house rules? What's your favorite house rule?
Good, Leo.
Oh,
for gaming, not like weird.
Yeah, homebrew. What's your favorite?
Not you and Esther's house rules.
So I obviously it's easy. I run at home. I can play any game, but I run at home 5e. Mm-hmm. So I do multiverse. Some people likes it. So I do like my players can go to Dragonlance, Everon, and I got them multiversing into it. But also one of the rules is I don't do death save. So what I do is I like to ask my players what character, what is your alignment? and based on your alignment. So if you're, depending on what you are, I have an angel and I have a dead, or the Green Reaper comes. And based on that, they make a deal, they make a pact with your players, and and they say you are a chaotic evil. So, I make a deal with you, you come back to life. It's an example. And when it's your time to go, the DM will tell you. So when that players come to my campaign, I roll the D20 behind the screen, and I usually look at him and I just go like, even though it's a joke, but or fake, or could be real, but I got the player the whole game thinking that this is the last day of him being at the adventure. So I don't roll for dead save. You either dead, or you either come back as a second chance, or you're fully dead.
Awesome.
You should get Mike Shea's this, what is it, City of Gates, right, Phil?
City of Arches.
City of Arches.
And I also have a deck certificate that I award my players. So if you die in my game, you got a death certificate. So in every campaign in every game that I go to play, I try to kill my character. I play in the Stefan game. I play with Luke Gygax and Amphibious Goo, and I try to kill. Well, I get my character dead because I'm trying to look for that death certificate so I can, frame it and put it on my wall. And not too many DMs has that. Actually, I just sent Stefan wanted it so mine. He wanted to have an idea of mine, so I sent in a PDF, and I think he's gonna start using it for his games too.
Oh, there you go.
Yep.
Hey, Leo, did you hear about Henry Winkler? You know Henry Winkler?
Yeah.
The actor?
Yeah.
Did you hear he got arrested today?
No, why?
He was involved in some kind of financial fraud. He was running some kind of Fonzie scheme.
Oh.
This joke does not reflect the membership of PAGE or PAGE's things. Do not sue us, Mr. Winkler.
Speaking of death certificates, there were 52 of them on the board for Down the Dark Stairway over at the Shadow Dark Mega event.
Yeah.
52.
Wow.
They'll do better next year.
That was wild. And I've got quite a few house rules I have used for Shadow Dark. I mean, Dungeon Death has a couple of them in there. I feel like every game I run, I like to hack a little bit. I've been running Dolmenwood for my family for about a year now, and it's wonderful. But I run Dolmenwood using Beyond the Wall, which I think is one of the unsung heroes of the OSR, honestly. Like, a lot of people I talk to don't really play it or know about it, but it's an awesome book. Really brings like Hearth fantasy to it. So I picked it up to give Dolmenwood that like Stardust vibe. You start off as just like children who cross into a different world from like your town that you build up with procedural generated tables and such. But there, it's awesome. It's based on a lot of the Ursa Kitt books and stuff.
Okay.
Highly recommend anybody checking it out. And it runs off of old school engine. I think the main one I use throughout, I am a big fan of Shields Must Be Broken. Like, I love that rule, breaking your shield to mitigate any damage. It just kind of gives people that like AON feel, like, my shield's broken, and I think it really makes for some thematic moments.
So every time, Dolmenwood, it looks like a great game, but I just can't get it out of my head every time the phrase Dolmenwood comes up. I just hear it in Beavis's voice.
What?
I hear it in Beavis's voice. I don't know.
I love that.
So you said you were a paid GM, right? What's that like?
Yeah, so I actually recently stepped back from it just to focus more on my own creative work. So I started about almost 2 years ago doing paid 5th edition games. And it was cool. It was fun. The only problem is when you're part of something big, like when you're part of a big thing, like a West March. This was West Marches. There's you're telling other people's stories, right? You're kind of collecting, and as things get bigger, especially when it comes to newer editions, as characters progress, the power level and scaling because of it becomes a lot. Yeah, I mean, it's fun. It's interesting. One of my favorite things to do is get new people involved into the hobbies. And that's really why I stuck with it for so long and why I have fun doing it. Just this weekend, actually, I'm running a kind of minimized Isle of Dread, like a 1-day kind of condensed in Shadow Dark for 4 12-year-olds. So that should be fun. My buddy reached out to me and says my son wants to learn D&D, saw it on Stranger Things. I was like, cool. I know 2 other kids who want to play. Bring your sons over and we'll play.
4 12-year-olds. I've got post-traumatic stress syndrome from running a game full of sub 12-year-olds, a game of Clayorama at EcclesiaCon last year. In fact, a mother went to go drop like her 9-year-old daughter off at the game, and her 7-year-old son. I'm like, oh no, Mom, take a seat. And take some Play-Doh.
Yeah,
because I can't do this myself. So this one kid, I think his father was one of the Nintendads. Is that a thing? Or the Nintendads a thing? Like
it sounds like a podcast name. I don't know about it. It sounds like it should be a podcast.
They had like a table there, and the kid kept, every time something bad would happen to the kid, he'd run over to his dad's table, angrily stamp his feet, and claim that I was cheating. I was like, oh my God.
I've had really, really great experiences. So I do a lot of like DCC, like DMing and stuff. So I'll do like their Judges Guild and like stuff for that. And I've done like the DCC Day events, and every time I do a DCC event, there's usually some dad brings his kid because he's like, this is like the games I used to play when I was younger, but I couldn't leave the house without my child. So you're running for me and my child. I'm like, cool, all right. So it's funny because DCC modules, like, I wouldn't say like they're provocative or anything, but they're definitely not made for children. There's some gore, blood, and guts. I would say it's like PG-14. So a lot of times, like, I'll be like, yeah, and roll to see if your guts explode. There's always like that. Yeah, I always that. This is gonna be like Army of Darkness level storytelling here. I hope you're okay with that.
Yes.
They come to the table.
Yeah. To be clear, Ron was cheating. Yeah. So Ryan, how about you? Same question along with Jen's question. How about house rules for you?
Yeah, I don't know if I particularly have anything exciting about that. I mean, I do my character creation pretty much, 46 and arrange them any way you want. I try to run combat in a way that's sort of quick and efficient. So we don't use, I think a lot of people don't in AD&D, we don't use the hit versus armor class tables or any of that stuff. It's just, you have a weapon, you have an armor class, you roll to hit. So that kind of thing.
Right.
And I've got some other rules that I have used. So, one of the things I never thought about when I was younger that is interesting when you read interviews with Gary talking about the theory of game design, right? And how, for better or worse, he had a vision of how to balance things and why things need to be balanced, et cetera. And what I notice through time is that people, at least that I've played with, do tend to gravitate towards certain race and character classes, and others sort of become completely forgotten. Like, for example, very few people choose to be a plane fighter. A lot of people seem like they don't want to be clerics. And so I do tend to come up with my own chart to try and encourage people to take some, choices that I don't really see being made very often. And so maybe there'll be added bonuses, for different races, so you can change your stats a little bit more to encourage you to be different things, and also try to do some things that would encourage you to choose classes that I think people look. So I try to do things like that to make the game a little more interesting, because I really do think it's a lot more fun when there's something unique about each and every character class, right? So like a fighter is not like the second class choice. Like you'd really rather be a ranger or a paladin, or maybe even a barbarian, but you don't have the stats for that. So now you're just a generic fighter. And so I think it's in that idea of game design, it's important to try and figure out a way that every class there's a reason to pick every single class or race combination kind of thing.
I completely agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm one of those people. I wouldn't be a cleric right off the bat. I really wouldn't be a paladin. And I don't really like, fighters are okay, but humans I think are boring. So I understand why they get extra feats. But if you give each class something special and you randomize it, you get something, you're like, well, okay, I'll try this. And if they die, whatever. And then you start playing and you're like, wow, this character class is awesome. Why did I think it wasn't?
Yeah, I've had that exact experience, Jen. That exact experience.
Same here.
All right. So let me ask, who on the program is gaming this weekend other than running for 12-year-olds?
We might be gaming tomorrow. That remains to be seen.
That's a no. That's a no. That's a big fat no. If
No,
you don't know
it's
by
not a
now,
no.
you're not gaming.
It's not a no. It's just one of our players is away, and
They're beat. They don't get any experience points. They're sick. They stay in their bedroll.
we'll have to. We didn't flat out cancel. We'll have to call Matt and my sister and see if they still want a game. I do, but
I'm playing the new Conan RPG tomorrow, which I think is awesome.
Yeah.
It's an awesome game. I love everything about it, and I'm real excited about playing tomorrow. And
What's the system for that?
it's its own system. It's background based for the characters, and you use experience points to buy skills essentially. So
is it D20?
No, it's a D6 system.
Oh,
It's a D6 system. Yeah.
cool.
It could be a D8 or a D10 system, but that's only upon elevating the character. So, but everything kind of starts off with a D6 plus your skill. And if you have any special skills that might modify that, but it's a lot of fun. I think our group is taking it very seriously. Like they're all very into their characters. They have well-developed backgrounds. There are posting journals between the games, about what their characters, thinking. I'm even doing 2 sets of journals. I'm doing the present and I'm doing prequel stuff.
Huh.
So yeah, it's fun. It's fun. I'm looking forward to it. And Anthony Simeone is the GM for that, and that was the person who was the head GM at Down the Dark Stairway at PAGE, which was extremely successful.
I am so sad I didn't get to try any of their games. I wanted to.
You're going to get an opportunity because we've been talking to Kelsey, and it looks like that show might go on the road for a few conventions a year.
Yay.
Yeah. And I'll tell you where it'll be next.
Total Con?
No. Not Total Con, no.
Dare to Dream.
There it is. There it is.
Yes.
It'll be a concoction May 29th through 31st in Vineland, New Jersey.
All right,
That's
you've
on
convinced
sale
me.
now.
You've convinced me. I'm gonna have to.
There will be 32. There will be 32 hours of Down the Dark Stairway at Concoction.
All right, so I'll get a second chance if I can convince John to make the trip down.
Well, you can always tell them, divorce is a tough thing.
I could never.
You
I
could
love
say,
him too
listen.
much.
You could say, listen. That level Wayne, if he's not taking you to play down, at Concoction, you'll start. You'll have buyer's regret. Yes, and here, eat this apple. Eat this apple.
All right, I got a question for you, Ron. This is thinking back to I haven't done this in a long time, but so I'm interested to hear what folks, in terms of homemade props, what's the coolest homemade prop you've ever made to use in a game at the table? Oh, Josh, he's got visual answer, man. I like it.
My goodness. I mean, I've done so much with terrain over the years, and interesting terrain. I'm not even sure where to start.
But that's what yours would be, the actual tabletop itself.
Yeah, it would be things on the tabletop. Like I've come
like
up
the diorama, the visual. Yeah,
I've come up with some pretty wild terrain setups, and usually my players walk in and they look at the table and they're like, "Oh my god, like what is this?" So no, it's good. It's always a lot of fun, and for me, just GMing in general, just when I see players get that look like they're blown away by something, or they're totally shocked by an outcome, like that's the most gratifying feeling I get. And it's the same thing with a beautiful terrain build that they're going to go through. And I think that was part of the thrill for a lot of people with Down the Dark Stairway. A lot of people don't get to play with full-blown Dwarven Forge setups like that. And just the fact that they were able to do that, and we had miniatures out there, though. I do need to bring this up. We're going to have another trial at page 4. Wes Allen broke one of my Sturges.
Man.
Oh no.
He did. He did, and it was immediate. Like the other people in the room immediately started texting me, ratting him out for doing it. He used a metal die and he rolled it on the table, and it bounced over and it hit the Sturge's flight stand, causing the Sturge to become disconnected from the flight stand. If he had used a plastic die or had rolled more responsibly, it would have never happened. But that's exactly the way it happened, Ron. I got like multiple texts right away.
Even multiple camera angles on that.
Yeah.
Confirmation.
Hey, Ron.
Yeah.
Could I share my screen? I want to show a prop that I like that Leo's gonna remember.
It's going to be the beanstalk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see if I can. Okay, I've requested it there.
There's a note in the quote that says, "What kind of person rats out a man of God?" Well, it wasn't a person. It was people.
Cool. That's so cool.
That beanstalk looks a little veiny.
Yeah. But Leo, why don't you tell us about this?
I remember that. It was a game that we play at Ecclesicon, right?
Yeah.
Green.
That was really nice.
Yeah. So basically, this was based off an old Phineas Fingers comic strip, and I made the beanstalk out of foam, and a friend of mine printed out these leaves, and these are a couple of turducken miniatures. So
I hate those guys.
Had to fight the turducken. But I really, I haven't done nearly as much terrain building as Ron or anything, but I've really gotten into it the last couple of years, and I keep trying to design stuff to bring to conventions, because I think, I use it at home too, but I think it sort of adds something to a convention. Like Ron was saying, if you get something out of the con experience that you don't normally get at home, like playing with the Dwarven Forge things, playing with somebody's custom stuff, I think it makes it memorable and fun for people. you still got to run a good game, but that's part of the draw.
Yeah, the game has to equal the terrain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If it doesn't equal the terrain, then your builds for nothing in my mind. So, but I'll tell you, the feedback from down the dark stairway was great. So many people stepped in to help out when they were short on game masters. And I'll tell you, Anthony was so nervous leading up to PAGE about it. He was so nervous. And finally one day he was over at my house and what are you going to do about this? What are we going to do about that? I looked at him. I said, Anthony, just the fact that you're so concerned that this is going to fall short in some way means that you're putting maximum effort into it. Things have a funny way of working themselves out, and it did. It was people had a lot of fun, and the great thing is the feedback that the GMs are sharing with one another now, how to make it better for next time. So I think it'll be something that will certainly run at Concoction, and I'm not 100% sure, but maybe I'll run it at Gamehole Con a little bit, but it's a little tough getting all the stuff out there. And similar to what was discussed earlier about people will come back to playing Ryan's games. I've had last year, I ran, what did I run, Phil? 5 slots last year at Gamehole Con? I think 4. I ran 4 D&D games, 3 D&D games in the 1 Badge Quest game. And the 3 D&D games, more than 50% of the total players in those games were people I DM'd for last year.
That's always satisfying to have people play in your games that have played with you before.
And it was funny. I went out to the Dice Goblin store in Mount Joy, Pennsylvania, and when I was there, most of the people who showed up for that game that I ran out there, they all looked familiar to me. I'm like, wait a minute, I know all you guys, and they're like, oh yeah, we all go to PAGE, and 5 of the 6 are like, yeah, we you've DM'd us before. I'm like, okay, well then. So yeah, no, that's always a great feeling. So we'll see. I mean, I would like to it won't be this year, but next year I think we could pull this off for EcclesiaCon as well. We could pull down the dark stairway off for EcclesiaCon. So I look for that in 2027.
Ron, does Stefan go to Gamehole? Do you know?
Yes, he does.
Maybe you could convince him to bring this stuff.
Yeah, I'm not going to count on that. I mean, he'd have to drag it out just the way we'd have to drag it out.
Mm-hmm.
And, by that time, I'll be starting to play test the sequel for Tomb of the Ancient War King. So that'll be ready to go. So.
Oh yeah. How did the Kickstarter do?
Topped out at $16,000, which is pretty darn good for just a simple module.
Excellent.
It did much better than we thought, and it's actually still open for late pledges. It continues every day. It creeps up a little bit more. And on a future episode, Chet, Jen Glazer, and I, we have a few things that are going to be heading to Kickstarter soon that even Phil and Ed don't know about.
Ooh.
Awesome. Hey,
No idea.
Ron, are you going to put it on after the Kickstarter and everything is done? Are you going to put it on what is it? Oh my
Drive-through.
God. Drive-through RPG or?
I don't think so. I don't think so. My thought is the second it heads to PDF, you lose control of it. And
you can sell it by print on there too.
I got you. I mean, I think it would be better for us to have extra on hand and just sell direct to people. And, that's the way I feel like we should go about and do things. And, part of what you're buying when you're buying stuff from us, this Chet's a big part of this, is his great artwork and his vision and the way it marries up with, the adventure or the game system. Oh, that's a hint. I think it's best to be in physical form. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see.
Well, my next question was whether any of our retailers, we had a number of retailers at the show, had maybe expressed interest in carrying.
Many did.
Awesome. That would be great.
We'll see. I mean, I think I want to go direct to consumer. I don't know that I necessarily want to be in the business of selling stuff wholesale. That's just me. I mean, I was
it's your thing. Yeah.
I was a commercial crabber for years. And I didn't sell to a single crab house or a single crab distributor the entire time. I always went direct to the public. And, frankly, that interaction is a lot more important to me than maybe moving more copies through retail outlets or distribution networks. Like, it's not about the money as much as it is about the interaction with people. And so we'll see. We'll see.
Now, Josh, you wandered off to get a prop. I want to know what it is.
All right. So I ran a Lankmar game for like 2 years, and DCC has their introductory Lankmar adventure is the Masks of Lankmar. So I have this really cool key that I 3D printed, and I designed it myself. It detaches into 3 parts, and there's a hidden message inside. So like I tiny,
like a little piece of paper.
Yeah. So I tiny wrote and like stained this handmade message for them. And then there's like one of the Masks of Lankmar that they had to grasp and hold on to. So I this one was like from like a thing I found online that I kind of edited a little bit.
That's great.
Yeah, and I always have these by my desk because they just remind me. It was really just one of my favorite campaigns I ran. So
that's great. That's
Cool. And I am not crafty at all, but we use props all the time in our campaigns.
In the campaigns. Okay.
Yeah. So we've got various like mini weapons like swords and shields and things like that. Everyone has their own bag of stuff. And we have like little tactile reminders, like if we have potions, there's like little potions in there, or coins for luck tokens or what have you. And I remember this one time in one of the campaigns, it was a treasure chest that we found. And there was a key that went with it, but it didn't fit. So we had to collect the key from the right NPC before we could fit it in. And it was just, that did it. It was just that immersive. Different gems, different coins, all that adds up. And it's just so much fun.
I love that.
I'm not a big crafting guy too. I mean, I hate painting. It's like more than 25 years ago. Me and my wife, we took the classes of Warhammer. That was my Warhammer phase. The painting, I'm super lazy. I like to buy everything paint and ready to play. But for my home game, we run 3 games a year. They are not part of the campaign, either Thanksgiving and Easter, one of those 2. Then we do Halloween is the most, and then we do Christmas. And for those games, I create props and I give it to my players. For this Halloween game, what I was I went to a friend of mine that has coal, like, you know, like charcoal. And my wife got these clear boxes from like, I don't know, eBay or something like that. And I put the coal inside the clear boxes, and I did like little bows. And at the end of the game, this is what the players will get because they misbehave. And I give to every player that. And then in Easter, I did I buy a bunch of eggs that my wife and I painted, and we put the chicken legs of the eggs at the bottom because we were doing Baba Yaga's hut, and I did that to the players. Yeah, little stuff like that I like to do just to keep my players engaged and, you know, and coming all and all again. So my games start with 4 players. And then now I'm running in my house game. I'm running 10 players at my house.
Oh my goodness!
I've done that. That's rough.
Yeah, but it's fun. I mean, I try to keep everybody engaged, and I do. Sometimes I do the hourglass timer, so like that they can move fast. Come on, what you gonna do? Where you're next. What you're doing? Keep them busy.
Yep.
Yep. One of the things, I guess, that kind of goes back to the home rule, the home rule thing or house rule thing, is if players keep talking, I'll just start rolling random encounter dice after 10 minutes, just out of gameplay.
After 10 minutes, how long are you guys deliberating?
Yeah. Players can deliberate for a long time. Like once they hit the 10-minute mark, I'm like, all right, that's a dungeon act, that's a dungeon round. I'm rolling random encounter dice.
I use an hourglass. That's like several, like 3 minutes, and I put that down on the table. And when we're in melee, if I come to you on your number and you're not ready, you've got like 3 seconds to tell me what you're doing, or I'm moving on. Like, what are you doing? Like, if you're overthinking it, then I'm going to the next person. You're holding your initiative until the end of the round, because you got to keep it. You got to keep it going. You have to keep it active, right?
Yeah, if you wait more than 5 minutes, you lose momentum and people get bored.
Yeah, it was like our auction with the lag time. So, we're testing things to do. There's Stan. Speaking of Stan, Stan's in the chat. What did everybody think of the room markers and the table placard markers of the monsters?
I thought they were excellent, Stan. Yeah,
we had Beholder and Aarakocra and Carrion Crawler.
Yeah, you got to come up with a new A next year. That is really hard to say, and most people don't know how to say that word. But the art, that has nothing to do with the artwork. That's a Ron issue, I suppose. But the artwork was awesome. I thought it was really cool. Added nice little flavor, to the room, that you had different drawings in each one.
But it's got 2 A's at the beginning of the word.
Yeah, I can't argue with that.
I guess we could do Aboleth.
That's pretty hard too.
Aardvark.
Yeah,
we could do aerial servant, and it could just be a blank piece of paper.
There you go. That's a way to cheap out.
Yeah.
Flumph kept getting stolen.
Now, Stan, how much would you charge me for the aerial servant page? How much would you charge a convention for that artwork? Let's talk about it.
We got aerial servant, invisible stalker, mage hand,
Onkheg.
Yeah,
I'm just thinking
Ron. Ron, yes. All right. Does anybody in the chat room have any questions for our guests before we let them head off into the night? I see Ryan starting to fade a little bit, even though he's on West Coast time.
I'm still drinking coffee. It's early.
Oh, okay. Anybody have any questions for our crowd? I have the best picture from the convention, and I haven't posted it yet.
Oh, I look forward to seeing that.
It's Josh Yoder with Chris O'Neill, and they both have the same pair of glasses on.
Yeah.
Same color, same frames, same everything. Bright green.
Oh, that's a great one. That's a good one, Chris. That's my buddy Chris there. What was the RPG you each started with?
Oh, okay.
Rules Bay Basic for me. I remember that Errol Otis cover art very distinctly.
For me, it was AD&D First Edition. And in fact, my first DM was at PAGE.
Whoa.
It came down from Boston to come to PAGE, which was really great. It was good to see him.
Mine was weirdly a mix of the original chainmail stuff, the basic set, and then we got the hardcovers as they came out. And it was funny because my first several games were one-on-one, me and one other guy, and we played for a couple of months as we were getting things. And then we got integrated into his big brother's game, and that's when we shifted to AD&D. But it was very weird playing with sort of a mix of different rules all over the place, and going to that game and being like, "Oh, you guys don't use weapon speed? Thank God." We're trying to play
Mine was D&D.
All right, there's a ton of questions here swooping in. So you were D&D there?
Yep.
Okay.
Second ed Black Box, but the first campaign was the Diablo D&D
Oh,
set.
yeah. Mike Selinker did that for us while we were at WASI.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, it was great.
Stan says he'll do the Invisible Stalker drawing for half price.
Half price? Yeah. I mean, what are you going to do?
All right. So there's more questions here. So Brian Keena says, who amongst the panel is going to Concoction?
I have to go.
That's some enthusiasm there. I wish I was, but I'm going to be in Europe at the time, unfortunately.
Fonzie.
Oh, lucky you.
Fonzie's actually Asia Minor, but you know who's
counting? Yeah,
yeah. Who's you know? I don't want to nitpick. All right. There's a question here for Leo. Leo, what is the best item or grail that you got at an auction?
I think the one, so I got a bunch of them, but for me, the one that is unique, that is only one item of them made and signed, I call it the relic. It's it's from GUI Cube. It's the guys on it. One of their modules that's not even out, and it's made on a piece of like a sack. And it's an art done there, and it's been signed by Luke and Infinious Goo. And it's only one. They made it just a promo for the book that is actually, I think it's coming this year. And they gave it to me. I mean, they were so nice. And I took it to our friends in the, we got a friend from art gallery, and they did this floating effect. And I did it with the glass museum glass. And you can actually feel like you can touch that item, and that is in my living room.
Oh, wow.
And it's because it's so cool. My wife allows me to have it on the living room.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it's one of the most rare items that I have.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
And a few Jeff Easley signed, and I got one of Ark and the Crew signed by it's a unique piece, also art print. I think I have 31 or 50. It's signed by Jeff Easley and Joe signed it too.
nice.
Yeah, that's also, I have a few of them, not too many. I don't want to go too crazy. My wife will kick me out of the house. But yeah, it has some cool items.
Rooney asks, Josh, when is the last time you washed that hat?
This one's freshly washed. The pink one's in the washer.
Oh, okay. And he's got a follow-up question. Do you sleep in that hat?
Yes, I do. I never take it off. It's like that old Scary Tales. If I take the hat off, my head comes off with it.
I see. And then his final question is, what is your favorite Appendix N novel that's not coded?
All right. So Peter's, as you haven't noticed, you probably can tell, is a very old friend of mine. So the name Crimson Adder.
I can't believe he's asking those disgusting questions about your hat.
I mean, hey, I know.
What kind of friend does that?
The name Crimson Adder actually comes from a Weird Tales group that I started during COVID that he was a part of, called the Esoteric Order of the Crimson Adder. So I'm a big Weird Tales guy, big Peng Sen guy. A merits the moon pool. I love it. To me, that's like the weirdness of the Appendix N, and I think of a lot of like stuff like Barrier Peak was inspired by. So,
yeah,
all right,
good author, good choice.
Matt Archibald has a complaint that the signs needed to be larger and more prominent. Well, when you buy the fixtures for the bigger signs, the bigger floor signs, then we'll make them larger and more prominent.
You think he's talking about how to get to the rooms?
Yeah,
it's kind of ironic. A D&D guy can't read a map.
He's very Mr. Magoo.
Yeah.
Matt is Mr. Magoo. If you've ever seen him, he's got to read everything this close to his face. It's pretty bad.
Hey, now.
So
it's okay. Let him do it.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I forgot. And Mr. Magoo, that's a sensitive subject.
No, it's okay.
All right. And by the way, it was very nice. You know, Michael Doherty, who's been on this in the audience for this show in the past, who's also blind. It was very nice to see you and him meet in person, and you know, we were able to give him some dice. You gave him some dice, some Braille dice, and thank you for that.
Oh,
Jen.
sure. I had an amazing time. We went out to dinner. And we're going to meet up next year, too. Hopefully, we can play some games together.
Let's see. Games with Dave is here. He says, hey, hey, hey.
Oh, hey, Dave.
And then we got Christian Stenzel. He's catching up 10 minutes after the joke. He's caught up with what we were saying. Yeah, exactly, Stan. I'm going to be in Europe, unfortunately. Total humble brag, yes.
I'm jealous. Europe is awesome.
Stan, I am so glad you're holding your friend accountable.
Hey, originally the get together in the summer was a different date, so I was going to be there, and then you went and dropped the convention on my vacation.
Well, that's it. Ed agrees with the street signs. Ed, you know what?
Mm-hmm.
That falls under special projects.
No, I'm on it. I'm actually.
I'm just saying it falls under special projects.
I'm actually looking at 3D prints where we can do like the MASH style sign. So yeah, I'm going to put that together.
Games with Dave. Look what the cat dragged in.
No.
Let's see. We got. Oh my God, there's a lot in the thing here. Weird Tales are awesome. Elder Goblin Games. So that is Jorben, correct?
Hey, Jorben.
Hey, Jorben.
So I will make a quick announcement here that Jorben is going to be in the interview booth mix next year with Jen and our other interviewers, and we're also adding Montel Thompson to that mix, nice. Who's just a ball of energy and
great.
Really looking forward to that. So, let's see. Just make a life-size maze and stick monsters at each entrance. Whoever survives the con levels up.
I wonder who's going to join us after Beholder and the Owl Bear. By the way, does the Owl Bear have a name like Beholder?
No, but that brings up a good point. Pretty soon we're going to be launching a contest to name this guy, to name the concoction mascot. Is he a beholder? Is he a spectator? What is
He's
he?
only got 7 eyes.
He does. He does. He's only got 7 eyes. So is he a mutated beholder? What is he?
Beholder kid.
But that's going to be
He's bigger than
a
a
contest. I heard, Phil, that naming the beholder, that might be a special project.
Okay, well, it's good we have a special projects guy that can handle this.
Yeah, we'll be talking about we'll be detailing all that on next week's show.
Can we expect a mini or a plushie of this guy?
Probably not a plushie. I don't think concoction is at that level, though. We have sold a lot of patches this week, which is just a little terrifying because we're trying to keep the thing small, but a bunch of badges did sell. And you want to talk about a bunch of badges. Early bird opening for PAGE was like off the charts.
Yeah.
Those supporting patron badges were gone in under 10 seconds.
Wow. Do we need
One guy had 5 computers set up.
Yeah.
And he put 3 in his cart. See, that kind of defeats. That makes it a little difficult because you can put things in your cart and hoard them from other people, even if you don't buy them. So, I made him release one back into the wild, and Ryan Morgan was lucky enough to grab it. So, but yeah, they sold quickly. The gold badges are blowing out.
Are you out of those, Ron, or you still have some left?
There's still some gold, a small number of gold
About
badges left.
70 or so.
I think it's less. But the VIG badges are selling as well. That's a new
tier
level we have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it just shows that I think that the attendees really like what we're doing.
Yeah,
and that they're willing to buy badges a year in advance is
and they know they're going to get snowed in, and they're coming anyway.
Yeah. I can tell you the response from the Indy community after you made the post. I've gotten a lot of messages. Well,
listen, 10 of those 21 spots are gone.
Yeah.
Or 20. It's actually 22 spots are gone. So we have to talk about that. Mm-hmm. And you got to get on your Karen buddies and tell them to, they went ahead. They were one of the first people to put in to get in, but they haven't pulled the trigger yet.
Hey,
so
do we have final attendance numbers for page 3?
Yeah, it's 3,075.
Wow, and we were hoping for 2,500, right?
Wow. You guys did great.
Awesome.
I don't know that we did great. There's a lot of work that needs to be done.
Also,
a lot of
he
work
wants a Pickles
needs to be
plushie.
done.
Speaking of work needs to be done.
Pickles plushie. Well, when
pickles, the real pickles.
When we taxidermy the actual pickles,
Aww.
we will auction the actual pickles carcass off at PAGE.
Should I wear my pickle shirt next week?
Well, I got something. Let me show you something that I found out on my backpack.
Oh, did you keep pickles poop? Because we had 18.
At least one of our guests did.
Yeah, we
You let
had
me know.
18 of them. We had 18 of them, and only 6 made it back. Yes,
Yeah.
that explains it. I got a question for you, Leo. How many flump room signs are in your bag?
No, I don't know.
They
I
kept
think
getting stolen
There
throughout
you
the
go.
convention.
I think I show it to my son, and we're supposed to go and get the like the thing that you were giving out. But I think I put it on the side pocket of my backpack, and then I realized when I got home, I say, oh, you know. But I will give it back eventually.
We, I thought that was pretty neat. A lot of people got some pretty decent prizes. It's was a great way to do it. Now we can talk about something we're going to do next year, PAGE, and we're going to kick it off at Concoction. We're going to start having surveys for every game, allowing the players to weigh in on their experience in every game. And the way we're going to encourage that is we're going to make it simple. It's only going to be a few answers. Goal is to get it done in under 2 minutes. But if they put their badge number in, everybody who puts their badge number in per time slot will be put into a random drawing, and we'll pull out maybe a dozen or more. We'll put them on a board, and they will be door prize winners for that next time slot that they can go select things. So we're hoping to get feedback instantly about the GM's performance, and we're going to start really pushing that. And Concoction, there's a method to our madness with running that. Some people are like, oh, you're running this, and the other things turn so big. Why? Well, we want a smaller convention to experiment with things like self-serve badge printing and implement different ideas without being under the pressure of having people crowding through the door. And if the idea doesn't work, then what do you do? So we want a smaller show to be able to test things out on. And that's what Concoction is going to be. It's going to be where we're going to innovate, procedurally for things we do at PAGE.
That's a smart idea.
Well, it's an idea. I don't know how smart it is, but it's a lot less risk than trying to launch something new or a new procedure or a new idea at a much bigger convention where more people will be impacted if it doesn't fly the way we want it to. So we can test it and see how it works, and most importantly, see how the attendees react to it or the game masters react to it.
So it's just going to be playing games and vendors and stuff, right?
No, we're gonna have a little auction at PAGE. Have quite a few things left over from the Gamer Assistance Program auction. I don't know if we'll put the heavy collectibles in that auction, and I don't think it'll be online this year for Concoction. But some of the newer things we received, Kickstarter fulfillments and things like that, we're going to put in an auction there. And we're still weighing if we're going to do a little flea market. I mean, the flea market's such a highlight of the show for so many attendees. It's hard to say, no, we're not going to do that. I mean, I don't know how many people on the call or in the audience got to go to the flea market. I mean, Phil, did you get a chance to go over there?
To the flea market?
Flea market, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was very, very, very busy. And I know a lot of people were picking up older items that folks were offering that typically go for a lot of money on the secondary market, and that people were, willing to let go for a more reasonable price. So I saw a lot of happy faces. I saw a lot of folks wandering around and perusing and really getting a lot out of it. So it's always a success in my mind.
Yeah. No, if the inevitably we get pushback from like one vendor every year about the flea market, about how they feel it competes with them and this and that. And, that feedback is you should get rid of it. But, my stance is, yeah, but there were 500 or more gamers that made their way through that flea market, and they were like lined up waiting for us to shoot the pistol off so they could run in and start buying, right? So we have to look at that and go, one vendor who doesn't like it or all these gamers that love it, we're going to make the attendees happy, and if a vendor's not happy, they can not come back. I mean, no one's putting a gun to their head and saying they have to vend at PAGE if they don't like the setup or whatever it is. However, with that being said, as somebody who was a convention vendor for many years who specialized in used and out of print stuff, conventions with flea markets, that's where if you think the stuff's too cheap out there or if it's competing with you, buy it out and put it on your table. I mean, there's no reason not to do that. So to me, it's not a valid complaint from any vendor. And, I've told them that. And,
lots of people at the auction are retailers looking to buy something and resell it. I mean,
yeah. I mean, I don't know that you're getting a lot of bargains at our auction, because it's for charity. I mean, I know one of the changes for next year is going to be, there's going to be less consignment items in the auction, and the consignment items that are there, the percentages are changing. We're not doing 10% auctioneer fee anymore. Anybody who wants to consign something, it's going to be a higher fee because that money goes to the Gamer Assistance Program. And we had donated items where literally 110%, because of the buyer's premium, would go to the charitable funds that we collect for the Gamer Assistance Program. We didn't get to some of that stuff, so we could sell stuff that we're getting 20% on. And it's
the value, though, right, of the consignment, I think, Ron, is if you get those headline items, someone consigned the Dragon magazine #1, something like that. But you only need that if you're not getting it the other way, right?
But most of the people who are putting in those higher end items, they're kind enough to not stick to the 10%. Like last year we sold the 3 rounds of needle from Gen Con.
Yeah.
That person donated 50% of his $8,000 sale to us.
Yeah.
And we got another 800 from the buyer. So, I mean, that makes more sense. Michael Saxton this year with the shelf, he donated more than the 10%. Okay.
Yeah. I just think the difference between something that's really exciting versus I'm just having you sell stuff for me, right? Here's just all my AD&D modules. I want you to auction them for me. That's the stuff that.
Right. So we're gonna change that. It's basically gonna be a higher percentage, and we're not going to take everything.
Yeah.
It's going to be, if we don't feel it's collectible enough, then it's going to say, hey, no, we're not going to take this. Like those Middle Earth modules, they should have never made the auction. The newer Middle Earth modules that were in there,
the ones we couldn't sell because the reserve was too high.
Don't even get me started. Don't even get me started. But they should have never been in the auction.
Yeah.
And that's our fault. That's my fault for not saying no.
Yeah.
Get those out of here. No. I'm still actually, speaking of the auction, which is a wonderful auction. Thanks for all the time you put in there, Ryan, and Doug Bartholomew was awesome. Guppy was awesome. Bill
and
Bill
Amanda
was
and Daniel. I mean, they did. I did show up, but the heavy lift is that stuff to get ready and to sort it. And I thought it flowed. Like I say, I thought it flowed pretty well this year. Every year we're getting do better every year.
It was much better. We're just going to tighten it up. We're going to keep tightening it up. I'm still traumatized from the auction because I was all in on the shelf. And then my wife from the back of the room,
Banhammer,
she was throwing up the X card when I hit $4,000. And I froze and I acquiesced. I did. I'm ashamed of it. Yeah.
Back on the flea market, I liked going through the flea market, but now that we have the larger space, one of the things I'd like to see would be more walkway space.
It was tight.
The things it was tight, and like last year, it had to be because we only had that narrow row. But
tight makes for better pictures, though.
I suppose. I think it still
looks a lot cooler.
It creates the frenzy, right? You got guys reaching over each other. I want to see what you got.
Well,
I thought the flea market was great. I didn't actually pick anything up, but I saw a lot of really cool stuff for sale, and I just think
we can spread it out, and we can spread it out next year. And I don't know. But all right. Were there any other questions? Metamorphosis Alpha.
Troy asked about if there'll be a flea market at Concoction Con, and also shout out to Pete who helped me look for a copy of Swivers. We didn't find it, but he was true blue and helped me dig through the flea market with him.
Is there going to be a flea market at Concoction? Film at 11, but probably. So we'll see. We'll see. It'll be smaller. So, all right. I think that's the end of the questions from the crowd. Let's go through. Do our guests tonight want to leave us with anything? Josh, you know your Kickstarter's coming up. What else you want to leave us with?
Yeah, so I mean, you can find me pretty much everywhere at Crimson Adder Games. On Itch, I've got a ton of small press and PDFs from everything from Meat is Murder, my mothership pamphlet about playing cows trapped in a meat factory ship, to being I've got all kinds of crazy stuff. I've got one where if it bleeds, or it's a solo game, or you play a predator and you rock paper scissors to kill your friends. But all kinds of other things for all other things you want. But yes, Dungeon Death, take a look for it. It's on Kickstarter right now, and it will be coming out. Like the whole Kickstarter thing will be coming out on February 1st. And I look forward to seeing you all at Concoction Con, and also Page next year, Page 4. And hopefully I find my copy of Swivers.
All right. Thank you for joining us tonight, and looking forward to continuing to work with you. And
thank you.
Have a good night. I'm going to send you into the darkness now. I'm sending you away. Hold on. Technology
should be like a little squirrel here as he disappears into the nether region.
Technology is hard.
He's taking off my hat.
There he's gone. Okay. How about you, Leo? What do you want to leave us with tonight?
That's pretty much. Hope to guys, whoever's watching this live, to see you guys on Page 4. It will be awesome, better than way, because it's always been awesome, better. Again, I hope to stay longer on the auction, and if you guys see me around, say hi. Next comp that I'm gonna be is gonna be a concussion. If you guys are planning to go, hopefully, are gonna be running some games. I didn't submit it yet. Ronnie's gonna kill me, but I will be there. And again, I hope to see some of you guys there, or all of you guys there.
All right, Leo, thank you, and thank you for your enthusiasm. And you've got a box full of shirts and posters and palm cards on their way to you.
Also, if you got a chance, after, you can call me. I have some things to run over you that you're gonna like. Okay.
Don't run me over. Don't run me over. No running me over.
You can give me a call or anything. Okay.
Yeah, tomorrow I'll give you a call. Definitely.
Awesome.
All right.
Nice seeing
right.
everybody.
All right.
See you, Leo.
Leo.
And Leo's going off into the darkness. There he goes. And then finally, Ryan.
Yeah. Well, thanks for having me on. And, I don't know that I have one highlight from something like PAGE, but I want to, in any particular best highlight, right? But I have a highlight I want to share with the people that are still watching. So we got to meet a guy named Joey Ray that I had talked to a little bit about collecting, and he played in the session of my game. And we talked a little bit about that. And he's like one of those people who he said to me, I haven't played in a long time, hadn't been to convention, was maybe kind of on the fence. And so the thing I want to say is do it. Go to a convention wherever you are, pick one. Doesn't have to be PAGE, but it should be, or Concoction. But go and have that experience, get to meet a bunch of other gamers who enjoy this hobby. And I'm really thankful, Ron, that you looped me in, and you didn't convince me, but I was convinced in talking to you about it that I was going to come and get to meet other people who enjoy that hobby. And I'm really glad I did. And I just want to encourage other people who maybe used to think about Gen Con right when they were little kids, like, go to a convention. It is a great experience, a lot of great people, and you're going to have a great time. So that's my parting message.
And I need to second what you said there on all counts, but what a gentleman Joey Ray is.
Yeah, great guy.
I mean, great guy, good collector. Added a little bit of competition for some of us who are out there, and it's like when you see him rolling up, there's like an endless supply of money behind whatever he's going after. It's kind of like going up against Bill Meinhardt, except for I don't revel in it quite as much when I defeat Joey Ray as I do when I defeat Meinhardt. So, but thanks for everything, Ryan, and we will see you soon.
Absolutely.
All right. Now Jen's starting to fall asleep there. She's starting to fall asleep.
I'm still here.
There's big yawns.
Yes. I also got up at like 5:30 today, so
a moth flew by and you sucked it right in. It's gone.
I plead the fifth.
Yes.
I fed my cats before the video, so they're not bothering me.
Okay. Phil?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Well, folks, we are so happy that you've joined us yet again. And I'm hoping folks that weren't able to join us are going to watch us a little later and get excited about next year already. We are 50 weeks away from PAGE 4. So mark your calendars, friends, because those 50 weeks are going to feel like 5 days to those of us on the inside trying to get the next show together. But we just so you know, we're taking your feedback seriously on how to make the show even better for next year, because upwards and onwards is the goal here, to try to put on the best show that we possibly can, and so that people come away with fantastic memories and spread the word. During the show, I know those of us that are running around and dealing with all the problems sometimes don't necessarily, at least for me anyway, don't necessarily get to see folks enjoying themselves as much as I'd like to. I mean, I try to get around and see that. And I saw a lot of folks having fantastic times and hoping that they were going to walk away from a snowy weekend and say to themselves, well, that was definitely worth the price of admission. And we've heard a lot of really good things. And so the PAGE family, Ron always likes to use the word family, and I agree with him, is growing. And that sounds a little cliche perhaps, but it's true. And so, get the badge sales are open now. And if you can't wait to see people like myself and Ron and others come to Concoction in May, and we'll be there. And, 2.0, right?
Yep. Yeah. I mean, finally, if you have time, come out to Concoction. It'll be a lot of fun. There will be a lot more time to interact with me and Phil, and Ed's not going to be there, but we're going to have a lot more time than we do at PAGE. I can tell you I'm running several games at Concoction. I'm running a D&D second edition. I'm going to run a Badge Quest game. And I'm also running Harefoot Jousting.
Oh,
What's that?
It's halflings mounted on non-traditional mounts like turkeys and geese and cats. And they joust using like rolling pins and pots and pans. And it's a rules light miniatures game. It's a lot of fun. And I'm really looking forward to it. I've got the miniatures all painted. I even there's a goblin variant of the game where goblins are riding giant cockroaches and giant caterpillars and things like that. But same premise. I've got 2 teams of 3 each. So I've got 6 halflings and 6 goblins. And I've got a jousting arena created, even with stands and fans in it. And sometimes the fans might get involved. So it'll be a lot of fun. It'll be set up, and I'm looking forward to it. So, that's concoction.games if you want to check it out. But some pretty cool stuff going on there.
one of the things I'd like to bring up is obviously keep tuning into to this channel, but feel free to send us notes on things you'd like to hear us talk about or do. One of the things I've been dipping my toe in the water is I'd like to maybe run or play in some online games for charity, to benefit the Gamer Assistance Program, looking for suggestions about stuff like that. But yeah, keep tuning in and let us know what you'd like to see.
All right. Phil, you got anything else?
I would say not really. I think we had a great show tonight, and we'll see what we have lined up for next week. If next week, I do have one thing to say, and I really don't care what you guys think. I love Groundhog Day. It's one of my favorite holidays of the whole year, and so I want to wish everyone a happy Groundhog Day. It's coming up on Monday. We want to wish Punxsutawney Phil a fantastic happy Groundhog Day. So if you're out there in good old Pennsylvania land, happy Groundhog Day, everybody.
Are you going to Punxsutawney?
He goes every year. You go every year, don't you?
No, I don't go every year. I've been there 5 times. For Groundhog Day. So
just so you know, I shoot groundhogs that are on my farm with impunity.
They don't last long on my property either. But there's one groundhog that has my heart, and his name is Phil.
Aww.
That's just weird. It's no Fonzie scheme.
No, it's not.
Well, I hope that he doesn't see his shadow so that the winter goes away fast.
That's right.
It doesn't seem to be going away. Like, I've got my heater in the office. I've got a wall heater in here, and the office is insulated, the whole bit. It's a building, like an outbuilding I built on my property, and it's only gotten up to 60 degrees in here tonight because it's so cold outside. So
Yeah, it's pretty cold here too.
all right. Well, Jen, you want to take us out?
Sure. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in. We will see you next week, same time, same place.
Good night, everybody.